Hello and welcome to the Gunner Vibe. Arsenal won, Brighton won at the Amex Stadium. Obviously, this result is not the desired result that we wanted, especially with the Liverpool going all guns blazing. But Arsenal still remains second in the Premier League table. Now 5 points behind Liverpool. It could have been 3 points, but a draw against decent Brighton side is not the worst result ever. But in reality, Liverpool have 2 games in hand now. They are, like I said, 5 points ahead, and winning those 2 games, they could be 11 points ahead. Which at this point, it's going to get difficult. But at the same time, it's tough on Arsenal because we have so many injuries, so many players getting ill that it's tough to see how we can go for the rest of the Premier League without doing anything this January. But quick stat: Arsenal have scored in 1 or 0 goals for a ninth time in this season. Have dropped points in 7 of them. It shows that we definitely need someone in help the team score more goals or at least create more goals and chances. That was something that we can talk through this game. The starting lineup, Arteta had to make was forced into making a lot of changes. Havertz still couldn't travel; he was still out sick with a bug. It seems like it is running through the camps because Odegaard and Martinelli was sick as well, and they both had to drop to the bench. So Jorginho, Rice, and Trossard started, and Nwaneri kept his place from an impressive showing at Brentford last time out. Brighton obviously had to 2 days more rest or prepare for this game. First half started. I think both teams played decently without really creating much. A lot of passes in the back, really not impacting the either goalkeepers or putting pressure on the back line. There was one chance which Jesus missed. Thing was he was deemed offside anyways from a pass from Jorginho. But soon after, Arsenal scored a really good passage of play between Rice and Merino. Nwaneri darted in space and was able to get the ball from Merino, and he ran through on goal and had options to pass the ball. Rice was running through Jesus, and Trossard was on the back post. But he was confident enough to strike on goal and scored this goal. And he became the first Arsenal player to score more than one Premier League goal before he turned 18, which is really impressive. And his composure was really good to see. Arteta talked him up to be number 9. You can see the composure and the finish that he has definitely has some virtues to what Arteta has to say for his long-term future. Even after the goal, I thought Arsenal controlled the ball really well. But there was one chance that Brighton had. Saliba put Jorginho in all sorts of bother, and ball got intercepted. Brighton passed it through the penalty area, Arsenal's penalty area. And Adingra had a chance, pretty much the whole goal at his mercy, and he managed to slice his shot wide. Again, not a lot of chances. Nwaneri unfortunately got booked for time wasting. I really don't understand this, especially at this juncture. There is so many tools that are in play. This was something that was planned before the Premier League, but there is still some sensible approach to giving yellow cards. And this time wasting is not one. Maybe they could use the NFL timer option, where if the act is not done within that time, then they should give the ball away to the opposition. But Oneri got booked, and soon after we gave it was halftime, and Martinelli came in for Oneri after the game. Arteta said that Oneri also has an injury, a muscle injury, which means that he'll also be out. The cover that we had for Saka to play in that position is also gone. Sterling is already out, and we are struggling to have players, and there is so much injuries. So it's difficult to make any sense of what can be done. I mean, giving any ratings to any of the Arsenal players when there is no consistent team due to injuries or suspensions or even sickness, there is going to be some adverse effect, and that was felt in this game. Merino still had a really good chance. I think Rice got at least 2 or 3 chances from the right hand side to whip the ball in. This time he, instead of curling it, he rolled the ball through the opposition penalty area, and Merino could have shot and somehow miscued it. Could have been 2-0. Soon after, at the other end, Brighton got a penalty kick. Now, this has really been controversial, so I don't know what to say about it. So basically, Pedro scooped the ball in the penalty area. Both Saliba and Pedro went for the ball. Saliba hit Pedro's head, and uh, there is a lot of replays where you could see Saliba actually got the ball, hit the ball before hitting Pedro, um, and it was given a penalty. Um, there's two ways to look at it. It's soft, obviously soft. The penalty was given, and once it was given, there is no way we will see that overturn. But to be honest, if that happened anywhere in the field, Saliba had there was a clash of heads. There is going to be free kick given. This happened inside the box. So makes sense that it was a penalty. I know this sounds controversial, but in my opinion, that was a penalty. They scored. It was a really good penalty, and Raya went in the opposite direction, and Pedro scored from it. Mente had a really good chance soon after. Brighton, the game was stretched at that point. Brighton raced through Calafiori, and Minta just ran through and hit the shot. There was two players running in the far post that could have bundled it in as well, but missed both Brighton players. Again, at the end, Arsenal had a couple of chances from free kicks. Rice had a couple of decent free kicks. One, I think the last free kick was to Calafiori where he was offside and he headed over. And the better opportunity that Arsenal had was when Partey had a chance, similar free kick from Rice, and he was pretty much unmarked, and he managed to head it over the bar. And that basically ended. We really didn't create a lot. I think this game showed how important Odegaard was or is to this Arsenal side, and the lack of creativity was showing. We didn't really create a lot of chances. I think point from a stats perspective, Brighton had more XG 1.562, Arsenal's 0.84. Had to make more saves, 3 saves to Verbruggen's 2 saves. Arsenal had more corner kicks, a couple of disappointing corner kicks, I think, especially in the first half. Brighton was clever. I think a lot of teams are starting to do this, where they keep 3 players in the midfield to counter Arsenal's prowess in the penalty area, especially during free kicks or corner kicks. I did have more touches in the penalty area, but didn't really create much. 24 to 17, Brighton 17. 7 shots on with three on target for Arsenal. 8 total shots for Brighton, 4 on target. And Arsenal dominated the position 55 to Brighton's 45. Overall, a really wet, cold night at Brighton. Arsenal didn't really create a lot. I think performance was telling, especially with the amount of injuries and suspension. Even Timber was out today because of suspension and sickness. I think hopefully Arsenal get everyone back healthy. We have a tough game, Carling Cup game, semi-finals against Newcastle coming up at home. Hopefully we have Havertz back and maybe Odegaard as well starting that game. But we definitely need our players back. There's games coming up thick and fast pretty much every 3 or 4 days, and having players injured or players sick is not the ideal time for that to happen. But and I'm really glad that Arsenal didn't lose the game. Obviously, we should have won the game, but with all those things, suspensions and all, not losing the game was paramount, and that's what happened. But obviously, we are losing track of the juggernaut that is Liverpool, and 11 points I think, is going to be pretty much difficult to. But we'll see how it goes. But we'll leave it at that. I will talk again after the Newcastle game on Tuesday. Until then, come on, you Gunners.